Hello friends, this is Hatim Rampurwala, and in this video we would be revising IND AS 38 intangible assets. What we would be doing is that is solving illustrations as well as test your knowledge. We would not be doing the in entirety, that is not all test your knowledge and illustration, but yeah, we would be covering the important, or we can say some or few of them, few of the illustration. If you want to cover me to cover the other illustration as well, or some specific illustration, you can comment it below, else I am discussing only few illustration and test your knowledge. So let's begin. Where is the first illustration, man? Yeah, it is here. Okay. So illustration 1, identifiability. Sun Limited has an expertise in the consulting business. In the past year, the company has gained market share for its service for 30%. So its market share is 30%, and considers recognizing it as an intangible asset. Is the action of the company justified? No, it is not justified. So market share cannot be, it does not meet the definition of intangible asset, and it is not identifiable. See, market share does not meet the definition of intangible asset and is not identifiable, and is therefore not a separable, and therefore it is not neither separable nor arised from the contractual or the legal rights. See, this market share is neither separable nor arised from the contractual or legal right. It is not meeting the definition of intangible asset. It is not identifiable, hence it is not an intangible asset. Okay, then we would be doing illustration number 2. Illustration 2 is based on the control. Company XYZ Limited has provided the training to its staff on various new topics like GST and AS to ensure the compliance as per the required law. Can the company can the company recognizes such a cost as a can the company recognizes such a cost as a staff training as an intangible asset? The company has provided a training to its staff, so whether they can recognize that as in staff training as an intangible asset? No, they cannot recognize. It is clear that the company will obtain an economic benefit. See, by providing the training, the company will obtain the economic benefit from the work performed by the staff as it increase in the efficiency. So from that, company will gain the economic benefit, that is increase in the efficiency of the staff and work performance. But it does not control over them, but the company does not control over them by just providing the training services. They are independent. The company cannot control over them, just because the staff could choose. See, the staff could choose to resign from the company at any point of time, so we cannot say that we had provided a service and you cannot resign. So company see, staff can resign at any point of time, hence the company lack the ability. The main sentence is the second point. Company lacks the ability to restrict the access of others to those benefits. So it is lacking the ability of restricting the use of others to those benefits. Therefore the staff training cost does not meet the definition of an intangible asset. Then we would be discussing illustration number 4. It is also simple. We'll quickly go through. In first point, basically they had asked how to treat the following items. First, the company completed a grand marketing advertisement campaign of 4.8 lakh. The finance director has authorized this campaign, and on the basis it would create 8 lakh rupees of an additional profit. So even though this campaign is creating a profit, giving a company an economic benefit, but then too, this campaign is basically in the form of advertisement. It is an advertisement, so it will be charged to profit and loss, and it cannot be capitalized. It does not meet the definition of intangible asset. I'm not reading the solution, but yeah, we would be quickly discussing. In second part, what they said is 3 lakh rupees has been incurred for the new product, and 1 lakh 50 has been incurred prior to 30th September. That is the date on which it becomes clear that the product is technically viable. So prior that, expenses all will be revenue expenses, and after that it will capitalize. So 1.5 lakh is revenue, 1.5 lakh is capital. But the new product, what they have given is in last line, that is last line to that second point, the new product will launched in the next 4 months, and its recoverable amount is estimated to be 1.4 lakh. Its recoverable amount is estimated to be 1.4 lakh. So there is a reduction of 0.1 lakh, that is an impairment loss. The company has to recognize an impairment loss. Then staff, third point is based on the second illustration which we had did, that is the staff training thing. They cannot control over the asset, they cannot control over the staff, because staff can resign at any point of time, hence that is not a capital asset. Staff participation in training program which cost 5 lakh rupees. The training organization had made a presentation to the director of the company outlining that the incremental profit to the company, to the business, over the next 12 months would be 7 lakh. So even though that no third point, training program, no asset will be recognized, because there is no control of the company over the staff, and the staff leaves the benefit of the training. Staff leaves the benefit of the training, whatever they may be also depart, whatever they may be also departs. Okay, so we are done with this illustration as well. Wait a second. Illustration number 6th, it is based on business combination thing. That is, on 31st March 2001, Earth India Limited paid 50 lakh rupees for 100% interest in Sun Limited. At that date, Sun Limited net asset had a fair value of, so it has paid 50 lakh rupees and acquired the net assets worth of Sun Limited of fair value of 30 lakh rupees. In addition to the Sun, it also held the following rights. In addition, Sun Limited also held the following rights: mark trade name Grand, valued 1,80,000 using the discounted cash flow technique. So 1,80,000 is also trademark valued 1,80,000 has been received. Then sold distribution right to an electronic product. Future cash flow is 1,50,000 per annum over the next 6 years. So for that also, will multiply it with the what we can say, multiply it with the PVAF into 1,50,000. So how to calculate? So what they have asked is calculate the goodwill or other intangible asset arising on the acquisition. So basically, goodwill arise in case of business combination. If we had paid more, then the net value of an asset acquired. So purchase consideration 50 lakh, net asset 30 lakh, trademark 180, and the distribution right 1,50,000 per annum up to 6 years. So present value it is 6,54,000. After deducting all, we had paid 11,66,000 more, that will form goodwill on acquisition. Then we would be solving illustration number, see, illustration 8 is same as what we did illustration 4th. The 3 point question. First was advertisement, second was half incurred, 1 lakh incurred before and 50,000 incurred afterwards, and then third was staff thing, that also we did. Then we would be doing illustration 10. Illustration 10 is based on the concept of revaluation model. That if what we can say, if there has been earlier impairment, so we had recognized, means recoverable amount was less, then there was an impairment loss, we'll recognize into the profit and loss account. And then after the revision, when the impairment loss has been reversed, then first we'll charge to profit and loss account, and then we'll credit the remaining balance to the other comprehensive income, other equity. And if there has been a revaluation gain, so first we'll credit to the OCI, that is other equity. And whenever there has been a decrease in the value in revaluation, while applying the revaluation model, so we'll first debit that from the OCI, and remaining balance will be charged to the profit and loss account. The same concept is apply the same on that same concept this question is based. You can just simply read. Then I had not taken the amount, else the same concept, and it is a simple concept, the same as in India 16 as well, which we normally do. Then we would be doing. Okay, so now we'll move on to test your knowledge part. In test your knowledge, we will solve two or three of the sums. Let's see. First, we'll be doing illustration 8. XYZ Limited acquired, sorry, XYZ nahi, X Limited acquire Y Limited on 30th April 2001. The purchase consideration is 50 lakh rupees. The fair value of the net tangible asset is 45. So it has acquired purchase consideration 50. It has acquired the tangible asset worth 45 lakh. The company estimated that the fair value in process research project at 10 lakh rupees. No other intangible asset is acquired. So firstly, company will, what we can say, company will, what is the word here, company will recognize, company will capitalize this, company will recognize this in process research cost as an intangible asset. Then the further expenses also has been given, that further cost incurred by X Limited in relation to the research project are as follows. Because that was, since it was an acquired cost, it will be recognized as an intangible asset. Then 5 lakh rupees for research expense, no it won't, it will charge to profit and loss. 2 lakh rupees for establishing technology feasibility, it will charge to profit and loss. But the 7 lakh rupees for further development cost after the technology development feasibility is established, that will be capitalized. So the total cost which will be capitalized, see what question they have asked is, at what amount the intangible asset should be measured in accordance with the Ind AS 38. It should be measured in accordance with, it should be measured amounting to 17 lakh, 10 lakh plus 7 lakh rupees. Okay, 10 lakh plus 17 lakh rupees. The same answer has been given. We would be not referring to the answer. Then you can simply read it. Then illustration 9, sorry, test your knowledge 9. X Limited acquired patent right of manufacturing drug from Y Limited. In exchange of X gives it intellectual property right. So it is acquiring patent and it is giving intellectual property right. The present value, the current market value of the intellectual which it is giving is 18 lakh, and the patent which it is acquiring is 20 lakh rupees. So at what value it has to be capitalized, at what value patent rights should be initially recognized in the books. So if the X Limited does not pay any cash, so if this transaction of exchange is the sole transaction, no cash has been involved, so the initial recognition of the patent will be done on 18 lakh rupees. That is the fair value of the fair market value of the asset given up, that is intellectual property right given up. So it will be recorded at 18 lakh. And if second option, if X Limited pays 2 lakh rupees cash to Y, that is 2 lakh rupees is in addition basically. So it will be recorded at 20 lakh, that is 18 lakh plus 2 lakh rupees cash. 18 lakh the fair value of the asset given up and 2 lakh rupees cash balance. So we'll record the initial value of the patent as 20 lakh rupees. And we would be doing one more illustration, and then we would be winding up with this session. Illustration 12. I will be quickly taking through this question. What they are stating is, they had given certain expenses A, B, C, D, E, F, G and all. See, A was incurred towards selling promotion design, program designer, that is a research basically cost. Incurred 5 lakh rupees towards the other cost of completion of the program designing. Then incurred 2 lakh rupees, third, that is incurred 2 lakh rupees towards the coding and establishing technical feasibility. Still now the technical feasibility hasn't been developed, so this all cost, that is 2 lakh rupees, 5 lakh and 2 lakh rupees, will be charged to profit and loss account, and it is a research cost. Then D point, what they are given is paid 7 lakh rupees and other cost for other cost after establishing technical feasibility. So after establishing technical feasibility, so it will be capitalized. After this, all cost will be capitalized if it is meeting the definition of intangible asset. Then only incurred 2 lakh rupees towards the other testing cost, it will be capitalized. Then so D and E will be capitalized, A, B, C will be charged to profit and loss account. A focus group of other software developer was invited to a conference for the introduction of these new software. The cost of the conference, the cost of the conference aggregated to the cost of the conference aggregated to 70 lakh. So this cost of conference is basically an advertisement cost. It will charge to profit and loss. Then on 15th March the development phase was completed and the cash flow budget was prepared. Net profit for the year was estimated to be equal to 40 lakh. How should X account for the above mentioned cost? So as I said, ABC will be PNL, charge to PNL, D&E will be capitalized. 70,000 also will be go to PNL, profit and loss account. We'll just simply see the solution to this 12th question. See, in this case 9 lakh rupees salary, 5 lakh rupees and 2 lakh will be recorded in profit and loss. Then the para they have given cost incurred at the point of feasibility will be capitalized, but the conference cost of the 70,000 will expense off. As we discussed, in this situation the direct cost established for the technical feasibility of 7 lakh and the testing cost will be capitalized. Therefore the cost of the project capitalized will be 9 lakh rupees. And what first paragraph stated is the cost incurred in creating the computer software should be in creating computer software should be charged to the research and the development expenses when incurred until the technical feasibility. See, so all the cost incurred until the technical feasibility has been established should be charged to the profit and loss account, and after the technical feasibility has been established, that is here the technical feasibility is established after completion the detailed program design. Okay, so we are done with this test and knowledge 12. Okay, let's and then there are other test and knowledge as well you can manage. My objective was to revise a few of knowledge. Thank you for watching the video.